Not too long ago, I got to listen to an LP for the first time that when I heard it for the first time, I really liked a lot. It was by a group called American Spring. And American Spring, in fact, is Diane Revell and Marilyn Wilson. And they're here with us in the studio tonight. Diane, it's nice to see you both, in fact. You've been recording for quite a long time, in fact, haven't you, as a recording unit, going back to the early 60s, I think.
Since 1963.
With the band called The Honeys, is that right?
Well, it wasn't a band. It was Marilyn and myself and my cousin. And we were a band, but, you know.
Yeah, we made quite a lot of singles, but now we finally got to make an album.
Yeah. Brian Wilson is your husband, Marilyn?
Yes.
Yes. Was he involved in the early recordings?
Oh, yeah, I think all of them.
To what extent? Is it in production capacity, presumably?
Yeah, production, and also he wrote most of them.
Yeah.
He was also one of the Honeys. He's one of American Spring, too.
As he puts it.
What happened then after you were recording with the Honeys and the recordings at that time stopped? You got involved with the Beach Boys recordings, I know.
Well, that was more or less a family kind of a thing. You know, when Brian needed an extra voice, he'd say, "Come on in." You know, we'd go in there
And everyone always
things.
asks us, they say, well, oh, you know, the girls are doing the high parts, right? We said, oh, no. Brian always had us doing the low notes and everything.
Really?
We really had a good time.
Yeah. In what way was he recording then? How have Brian's approaches to recording techniques changed during the last few years? Mary. Marilyn.
well,
I knew
I
I'd
think-
call you Mary. I told you.
Mary.
That's what Brian calls me. Brian has always recorded, you know, in like a simple kind of way, you know, and his style changes. It's basically whatever he feels, you know, and what is happening around him.
And what kind of mood he's in. For the last 5 years, I've worked with Brian in the studio. I put together like all their music and everything. You know, I take care of the musicians. And we did a session one time where we were doing a song called Fire. It was from something that he did called The Elements. And he was in the mood. He said, okay, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it right. He had me go out and buy fire hats for everybody. I mean, and here we had a whole studio of musicians. Everyone had fire hats on. Brian had a fire hat, the engineer. It really turned out really good because it gets everyone in the spirit of what he's doing.
Yeah, like everyone has to be, you know, like feel the mood. And, you know,
He
the
just gets
musicians
into
always love
everything.
working with him.
Tell me a little bit about Surf's Up, because really, after it came out, we were aware that had been really in the planning for many years.
Well, Surf's Up, the song, the second half of the song is, I'd say, I think it's like 5 years old.
Done in
And
1966.
Yeah. Brian had done it then, and it was never released, and now they released it on the Surf's Up album. And he didn't want to do it over again because it had the original, you know, feel, and the original vibration of it was the thing.
What about
Put in that word.
And he did it in the sandbox, too. I forget. They had a sandbox in their living room. He had to have his piano in the middle of the sandbox, and they did it for a documentary that, and they showed Brian, and he did Surf's Up.
Did Surf's Up take very long, though? Because I think Feel Flows really must be one of the best things I've ever heard.
We did a background.
Plug.
How long did it take, though, to record that album?
Let's see, 4 months did it take? I think it took 4 months.
Well, that was pretty well solid work.
Yeah, it also took more time because the studio was in our house. And, you know, when you're at home, you know, you take your time, but it's better. It was really much better. The mood was better.
What's happening with the Beach Boys at the moment? Because they're recording at the moment in Amsterdam, I think. Is that
Yeah,
right?
they have a studio in Bamberg, and they brought over all their own equipment. And, in fact, Brian's there right now, this moment.
And he said to say hello to everybody, but he's got a few surprises up his sleeve.
It's going to be a double,
really
in
going to be
fact, isn't it?
good. What?
Is it going to
A
be a
double
double
album.
I don't know if it's going to be double. I know it's going to have a special surprise in it, though, that I think everyone will like.
Yeah.
As everyone's looking at us and waiting for us to tell what it is. but-
We pop out of it.
You're involved in
It's
this one
no,
too.
what happens is
Well,
the new spring album comes out of the Beach Boy album.
Are you recording yourselves at the moment?
Brian is making a track for us. He has written a new single for us. And we're also going to be doing some backgrounds on the new Beach Boys album.
What
which is nice.
What about appearances for both of you, the Beach Boys and Spring?
The Beach Boys are going on a tour, I think, again in November.
And then
Is
they
it in-
tour California in December.
Mm.
And as far as Spring, nothing definite yet.
Mm.
Yeah. Except for we have our own TV special in Holland.
Yeah, we have like 3 more TV shows to do in Holland.
How long ago was your own LP recorded?
Last, let's see, October. Last October it was recorded.
Mm.
Took us 2.5 months to make it.
Are you
had a
pleased
lot of
with
fun.
it?
Oh,
this
yeah.
time?
Oh, yeah.
Because there was a single released from it not too long ago.
Mm.
And in fact, that's what we're going to listen to now, I think. Diane, Marilyn, thank you very, very
Thank
much
you for
indeed.
having us.
And
Thank you.
this is American Spring from the LP.
Thank
And this is
you.
called Good Time. What very, very nice ladies too. Diane Revell and Marilyn Wilson, American Spring. And that was Good Time.